Given the function y equals f of x, we want to sketch y is equal to 2 f of x minus 3 plus 1. So we have y is equal to 2f of x minus 3 plus 1. So for this example, since we know how the transformations work, I'm just going to write down what each number does to this function and the order in which it applies it. So we have this x minus 3. This is happening to the function first, since in terms of order of operation, you would work within the parentheses. And x minus 3, I know it's changing the x's, and in fact, it's going to move the graph right 3 places. The second thing that happens is multiplication, which is going to be this 2. So this will be second. Now, since we're outside of the function, this 2 is changing the y values. In fact, it's going to double. It's going to double the y's. And the final thing that happens is this plus 1. This is going to happen last, so this will be third. I know this is a plus 1, and it will go up 1 place since we're changing the y values. So what we can do is we can look at each point on this function. So maybe I'll start with the point right here. This is 2 comma 1. I can write that over here. And you can actually walk through these 3 things to see where this point ends up. Okay, so we're going to start by moving right 3 places. So maybe I'll write it out here. So if we go right 3, it's going to go to, that's not true. It's going to go to 5 comma 1, since you're adding 3 to the x's. Okay, so the next thing that's going to happen is we're going to double the y's. Since the y value is 1 and we multiply it by 2, it should go up to 2. So now we've had 2 steps. The final step is going to move the graph up 1 place. So this is increasing the y value by 1. So we get 5 comma 3. We actually, to see that on the graph, so here's 2, 1. It's going to go 3 places this way. It's then going to double and then go up 1 place. So let's draw that on the graph at 5 comma 3. Okay, so let's do this for the remaining points. So for, let's say, this point, 1 comma 0. Okay, so for this one, same thing happens. We're going to go 3 places to the right. So we're going to go to 4 comma 1. Then we're going to, 4 comma 0. We're then going to double the y value. But, okay, since we're multiplying by 2 to 0, it still says 0. And then we're going to add 1 to the y value, which takes us to 4 comma 1. So seeing that over here, so we're going to go 3 places this way. Now we're going to double the y value, which means it stays right where it is. Then we go up 1 place, and this is the final spot of 4 comma 1. Okay. And the last point is here. This is negative 2, 2. If I know where this point goes, I know what the entire graph is going to look like. And again, following with the same procedure here, if we add 3, it's going to go to 1 comma 2. Then if we double the y value, it's going to go to 1 comma 4. And then if we add 1, it goes to 1 comma 5. So the point here, it goes 3 places this way. We then double the y value, and then we add 1 to the y value. And this is my graph. So it's the same shape, it's just been stretched. It's moved 3 places to the right, and it went up 1 place for the final step. for example 2, we'll use the same graph. So it's the same y is equal to f of x. But this time, we're going to look at y is equal to, okay, now we have negative 0.5 multiplied to f of x plus 2, and then minus 3. So I'll list these out again in order in which they should happen. So again, we have this x plus 2 that happens first, and I know that's going to be 2 places left. The second thing that will happen is going to be multiplication by this, not only a 0.5, but a negative 0.5. So this is going to not only shrink the y values, it's also going to, because of this negative here, after we reduce them by 2, it's going to become negative. And for the last step, this is going to go, for our third step, this is down 3 places. So starting with, I guess we'll start with this spot right here again, 2, 1. Let's list out what this new function does. So first, it's going to go left 2, so that is now at 0, 1. Then we're going to multiply the y value by negative 0.5. Well, I mean, here we have 1. And 1 times negative 0.5 is actually just going to be negative 0.5. So the 1 was divided by 2, but it also became negative. And our last step is to subtract 3 from the y value, and so we get 0, negative 3.5. So for this one, okay, we're here. It's going left 2. The y value of 1 gets reduced by half, but then it goes to negative 1/2. It reflects over the axis. And this actually is going to disappear off of my window. This was supposed to be negative 3. Here's negative 3.5, so I'll just draw it down a little bit down here. Okay, for my remaining points, I'll just list those out as well. So we have 1, 0, and we have negative 2, 2. So using these same guidelines, let's see. For 1, 0, I know it's going to go left 2 to negative 1, 0. We're going to multiply the y value by 0.5, negative 0.5, but that is still just 0. And then we're going to subtract 3, so we get negative 1, negative 3. And that's located right about there. And for our last spot, right here, let's see, it's going to be negative 4, 2. Then we're going to get negative 4, multiplying by negative 0.5 is going to be negative 1. And then down 3 is going to be negative 4, negative 4. So let's see, we're going to go left 2, reduce it by 2, but then reflect it down here, and then drop down 3 more places. So when I connect these dots, I get my graph, and that makes sense. Okay, so it was reduced by a factor of 1/2, it reflected. This is left 2 and down 3 places.